Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. It's the fourth day of Christmas, 2019, and on this Saturday, instead of whiskey, I'm going to do white rum, silver rum, because last night I said, well, they might be getting tired of hearing about rum, white rum at least on a Fandango Friday. So I figured I'd do the rum this morning, then back to whiskey tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the Northern Lights, a real winner, y'all, a winner. And it's going to go up against Gibson's Finest 12-year, Gibson's Finest Rare. Not a real winner as I see it, but that caused a lot of people to get angry. Okay, but what's the point of saying something good if you don't believe it just to make people on the internet happy? There's no sense behind it. All right, so here's Bocador rum. Bocador white rum. I was looking for the gold, but I didn't find it. The only other rum they had at Don's, because I bought this at Don's on Louisiana Highway 53 northbound. They had the Bocador Overproof. Well, I certainly don't want an Overproof 151. Yeah, 151 proof. I was like, yeah, 75.5% alcohol. I don't want to mess around with something like that. There's the Ray and Nephew Overproof at Walmart. Same thing. Okay, now Ron Pontalba. Ron Pontalba from 1989. I guess this was developed after the idea of Pontalba rum from the 1930s and 40s. That was a New Orleans made rum, I think. Pontalba rum. But it was owned by the same company, Legendre. And Legendre, who invented Herb Saint, Legendre was bought out by Sazerac in 1949. So Sazerac must have bought the Legendre brands and assets, probably distilleries too. And for whatever reason, in 1989, decided to bring in to the market Ron Pontalba, giving it the Spanish name because the Pontalba apartments were built by the real estate tycoon Baroness de Pontalba, who was born in Spain, the Kingdom of Spain. But what part of Spain? Louisiana. In 1795. Remember, Louisiana was part of Spain for decades. And they didn't look at it as like colonies, you understand? It's like, no, this is part of Spain. It's just another part of the country on the other side of the world. Like the Canary Islands today, Ceuta and Melilla in Africa, and like the Philippines and Cuba and Puerto Rico were part of Spain. Okay, anyway, enough of the history lesson. So they're both clear. I poured too much of the Pontalba, dang it. I'm not going to keep pouring to get it even. I'll have to sip on these for a good while. Now, Bocador was $8.99 for the 1 liter. You say, is that a good price? I assume it is. It tasted good. It's right up there with Captain Morgan White and Castillo Silver and the Bacardi Superior, which are, well, the Bacardi and the Captain Morgan are more expensive. The Ron Pontalba was $6.99. $6.99? Yeah. Oh, yeah. $6.99 at Kevin's in Kenna. So obviously Ron Pontalba is the better value. And I think the taste would be very similar. So let's go. Aroma. Just smells like very light molasses. Very, very light. And the sugar, the sweetness, little charred oak, a little bit. You say, nah, you're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. All right, Bocador. The original Bocador rum, famous for its character. This rum is famous because most people never heard of it. Made by master distillers where the tropical winds blow. Bottled in Philadelphia. Yeah, superior rum. Well, you know, blah, blah, blah. Where do the tropical winds blow? Well, that could be Miami. All right. Homestead, Florida City. That's in the tropics. I don't know. It doesn't actually say imported, but it says worldwide. No, it's Bocador rum white label. Is it actually imported or is it made in the U.S. down in Miami somewhere? I don't know. Rum Pontalba imported from the Caribbean islands. Okay, there you go. Bottled at Buffalo Trace in Frankfort, Kentucky. Buffalo Trace. All right. But it says bottled by Wide World Importers, Frankfort, Kentucky. And then the other one is Worldwide Distillers. But it's Buffalo Trace. These are both alias names because Worldwide Distillers is actually Charles Jochan SC of Philadelphia. A very old 1880s, founded in 1880s, family-owned distillery. Mostly a rectifying plant, bottling plant. And Sazerac is a family-owned company too. Bill and Mr. and Mrs. Bill Goldring. And they had a 2007 video on public broadcasting the other day. Jews in New Orleans. And it was showing Bill Goldring and then his father, can't remember his name, and all this money they gave to Tulane University and other New Orleans Museum of Art, etc. Goldring, and they were in cahoots with the Woldenbergs. Plus, they owned National Republic National Distilling. If you ever pass in front of National Republic Distilling on US Highway 90 in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, you'll see that they only advertise Sazerac brands. It's all they show. It's the only thing they show. Billboards for Taka Vodka, always a Taka Vodka billboard, but there'll be other stuff they're promoting, and it could be anything. A little sourness here, a little wood. Smells really nice, you know. But I mean, it smells really nice, and the price is right on this one. Okay, now this one is a little more gamey. It's got a little twang to it in the nose. You say, you mean like those rancid sugarcane stalks, the bagasse and that round up like the Ron Rio has? No, it's starting a little bit into that. But it's just a little start. The other Ron Rio is just full bore into that off stuff, off aroma, off flavor, off everything. Can't explain it. Don't want to try it. I didn't plan it. All right. Anyway, it smells pretty clean. So which is which so far? I don't know, but with that little twang in there, it's making me think Bocador, but I don't know, but I don't know, but I don't know, but I don't know, but I don't. Taste. I can't drink too much of this stuff. I poured too much, honestly, okay? I poured about an ounce too much in each glass. Sorry. It wasn't intentional, like let me cheat so I can get more booze. Wrong. It was just a mistake. Poured too much. All right. It flowed freer out of that bottleneck than I expected it was going to flow. So, well, this tastes pretty ordinary, you know, just like run of the mill, but that doesn't mean bad. Because a lot of these things will taste like that, just ordinary, not bad, just like ho hum, another whiskey, ho hum, another rum, ho hum, another brandy. But most people don't drink like I do, like making a big production out of it. Like they got to review everything and do a taste challenge and all that. See, so ho hum is working fine for most people because they buy it to drink it, but they buy it and they drink it. They buy it and they drink. Make mixed drinks, no big deal. Make cocktails, no big deal. Make highballs, you know, not. It's like, you know, hey, beer, same thing, same thing. Most of it is good, but not remarkable. Let's be honest. Do I try a lot of craft beers? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or most of them very good to excellent to most excellent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are they remarkable? No, no, no. Sorry, but it's the truth. Are they sometimes very expensive? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it worth it? No, no, no. All right. This tastes fine. I mean, it's like I say, it's just ordinary. Got that burn, 80 proof burn. That's the lowest allowable alcohol by volume anyway. It has to be at least 80 proof, but they're not going higher. They're trying to sell it cheap. Plus, most consumers don't seem to like the high proof stuff. Go to your local liquor store. What are you going to see on the shelf mostly? 80 proof, except for Fireball, which is like arguably and possibly the most popular whiskey product in America now from Sazerac. And it's only 70 proof, but they want that cinnamon spice. All right, and it's a Canadian whiskey too, by the way. Now see, this one over here is a lot more sugar oriented. Now, I don't mean it's jacked up, out of control, crazy like Caliber. Now, Caliber is remarkable because it's so strange. Like if you drink Caliber, you're going to say like, whoa, sugar rush. Like, what's up with this? Somebody went crazy. You know, that is so unlike any rum I've ever tried. It is just, I think some people would love it and other people would just be appalled by it. Like a real rum connoisseur, you know, somebody's really deep into it, not like just an amateur like me. Oh, they would just think, what is this? This is the worst. Till they tried Ron Rio, then they'd have to reassess. But they're both very well filtered. Now this one here, more wood. So think when we go here, we think wood, charcoal, a little bit of sugar, molasses, sugar products. Booziness, no. There's wood on the flavor on my tongue. Like you can taste the wood, the oak. Whoa, huh. Wonder which one it is. I'm not sure. Over here. I had mincemeat pie for breakfast, so my daughter's mother made it. All right. There is some wood here. Pepper. Yes. Not as much as the ones on the other side. Well, they're the same body, medium body, kind of a medium dry finish, you know, not too sweet. Tell you what, it's basically a straight up tie. I mean, I can't say one is better than the other, one is worse than the other. If there is a quality difference, it's so minimal, I can't pick it up. I don't have the ability to do that. That's a lot of wood there, boy. It's amazing you can make this out of grass. You say grass. Yeah, sugar cane is a type of grass. It's like a big, long piece of grass. And the pulp is sugar. And I saw them cutting it down since October, November, December, because I'm surrounded by sugarcane fields. My friend's grandpa got bit by a rattlesnake in that field one time. He was out there checking the cane and it bit him. He had to go to the hospital. Ever since, I've been terrified that you ever go in a cane field. You don't know what's in there. All right, I think a lot of snakes. Okay, so tie, which means Ron Pontalba wins. It wins. I mean, you know, if it's $2 cheaper per liter, it's the clear winner. So which one would I recommend? Ron Pontalba. I wasn't in a position to wait on the Bocador because I knew, I said, watch, it'd be the only place I ever see it. And it has been the only place I've ever seen it. Now, why does Don's get it? Don't ask me. I don't know. But if they get it, but look, if Don's is getting it, you know somebody else is getting it. So it's out there. Like Kessler, right? Kessler. I've seen it at Acuista Paces and Dorgnac's. And then on the website, when they used to say find the Beam brands and they used to list Kessler, they were saying that some club, some like fishing drinking club on US Highway 61 by Gonzales had it. It was in the bar. It wasn't a package that you could buy. I was like, well, that's really weird. Come drinking at this bar and have some Kesslers, Julius Kessler, the second best-selling American blended whiskey. The truth, Julius Kessler. The number one selling is Seagram's 7 Crown, which is number 7 best-selling whiskey in all of America. Seagram's 7 Crown, yep, truth. What's the best-selling rum? Well, of course, Bacardi. All right, I think this is Bocador. So here we go. It is. But that's not too impressive because I wasn't really sure. I just had an inkling that it was. Now I might do this 10 more times and only get it correct 5 times, you see. So is this a reliable taste challenge? I don't know. Reliability is only established by repetition. I would have to do it 10 more times, and if I got it right 8 out of 10, yeah, it's a pretty reliable challenge. Is it valid? Yes, it's valid because it's testing what it's supposed to test. Am I able, if I pour 2 different rums in clear glasses with tags marked underneath with the same amount in each glass, and I mix them up to the point where I can't tell one from the other, meaning it's a blind taste test. Does it test what it's supposed to test? Yes. You want the experiment to be valid and reliable, but I haven't established reliability, I don't think. Maybe for the whole taste challenge concept I have, because I think I've gotten it right most of the time, but it's very tricky. It's very, very tricky. Joe Biden's dentures. Good morning, Ron. Good morning to you. So you want to make sure your challenges are reliable. And valid. Now, I was talking to a former video beer reviewer, and he said he didn't see the usefulness in blind taste tests. No use mentioned on the channel. He declared it defunct. There's sirens. Hope they're okay. But it's very useful. A blind taste test is very useful. If you're sitting there looking at the labels, that's a real problem because it's going to influence your you don't even realize it. You can have unintended bias. So you want to eliminate variables. You want to, and what do we know in an experiment? You want to eliminate as many variables as possible. What are variables? Things that can change. Is it possible to eliminate all variables? No, but you want to try. You want to make it scientific. You say, oh, it's like Barack Obama said, it's settled science, settled science. Well, then he's a bad scientist. That's a political statement. Science is open-minded. It will entertain questions or possibilities. Science would say, maybe what we've established as a law isn't the whole story. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe we're looking at it wrong, or maybe our perception of what's happening is incorrect. You see, that's true science. But what you have in major media, you know, what you have there is not science, it's politics. They'll say, it's been determined. We have 53 scientists who agree the earth is being damaged by mankind and the climate is changing. They don't use the term global warming anymore because that was becoming problematic. You know, people were saying it ain't getting any warmer. What are you talking about? You know, so they, if you remember around 1999 or 2004, they pivoted. Remember, all of a sudden, all like in one day, all the publications and blogs started saying global warming. And I noticed that right off the bat. I said, how come on the same day, everybody started using the same terminology? I said, they must have received some kind of memorandum. But they're not telling you, but the 53 scientists are on the payroll of these universities who have an investment with the government to have, you know, they're getting paid. It's like, you know, it's like, well, all these Anheuser-Busch employees say Budweiser is the best beer. Well, yeah. You know, don't you think your idea is, your assessment is tainted? But you got hysteria, you know, so it's very hard to try to use scientific thinking with hysteria. It doesn't work together too well. Politics and science don't work together very well. They don't. And you might say, well, I don't agree, you fascist. If you don't agree with that, you're a Nazi and a fascist. See what I mean? That's bringing in political ideology into the scientific world. And I'm not even a scientist, but I have enough sense to understand how it works. See? You say, well, you don't have any sense. I say, but no, but you're hysterical. And here's a real clincher. When some scientists say, well, perhaps this is not the case. Maybe we're looking at it wrong. They get fired. They lose their job for making unaccepted speech, right? Unacceptable speech. Now that would make you question. See, now there's your tip off. See, that's when you've been tipped off. Something is wrong. When you get fired from your job because you asked a scientific question, there you go. It's politics. Blind taste test is the only real judge of flavor. Most people don't want to do them because they're afraid they might be embarrassed by being incorrect. Exactly. And I'm old enough to remember the ozone layer hysterics. Yeah, I remember that. I remember I was scared as a child that we were going to have an ice age. Because all these magazines in the mid-70s, National Geographic time, are we headed to an ice age? They were convinced the world is going to get cold. It's going to be a very bad day. And it was caused by, you know, mankind and capitalism and industrialization and all this. So I said, oh, it's very bad, you know. And then there was the hysteria. We're going to run out of oil by 1990. I mean, there's almost no oil left. It's all over. So we have to use alternatives to fossil fuel like windmills. And then, of course, you have all these government-connected windmill companies, you know, and you say, well, windmills, if you criticize windmills, you're a Hitler supporter. If you criticize windmills, you're a fascist. No, but people are bringing up valid points. Like for every dollar a windmill makes in electricity, it costs like $30 to earn, you know, so you get like a negative $34 payoff. You know, it's so inefficient. And like solar energy, you know, you say, well, for every $10 I use, for every 10 units used, I earn a unit of power, see? And I made it with all these false foods. So it's all like, what you call it, like the movie. You remember the movie where the man says, pay no mind to the man behind the curtain. And people don't like to be exposed, so they become very hostile, and they'll accuse you of all types of things. You're a racist, you know, a racist because you might have asked certain scientific questions about humankind. That doesn't make you a racist. It makes you a scientist or a person who has a mindset on science. So but people are waking up, you know, talking about becoming woke. You say, I'm a woke. If you want to use that urban terminology, which has become the, you know, word of the day. You're really awoke when you start realizing these things. See, and more people are realizing these things, and they can't get the cat back in the bag. You know what I'm saying? The cat's out the bag, baby. All right, and try as you might, you cannot win. Okay. Yep, the new ice age. It's all a sham, dude. You are awoke as fabulous for 6 a.m. Thank you, GMAC. The wind farms kill hundreds of thousands of birds each year. Right. And they're like a blight on the aesthetics of the countryside. They blight the countryside. And all these corporate hippies, they say, oh, man, we have to protect the environment. We're destroying the beauty of the world, man. Well, but then they'll turn around and promote corporate government collusion to build windmill farms everywhere, which are the most ugly, you know, the ugliest blight, you know, of the environment. These are not ecologists. These are crypto socialist capitalists. You say, but a socialist can't be a capitalist. They're all capitalists. A socialist and a capitalist is two sides of the same coin. One is heads, one is tail. It's the same coin. Don't be a fool. Wake up. They have the same puppet master. You ever went to a puppet show? You say, well, they got different puppets. That's right. But the same man is pulling their strings. Don't be dumb. Or the Bible says, I would not have you ignorant. Okay, they're cultural Marxists. Yeah, not just cultural. I mean, that's a term I use, but it's not just about culture. Culture is very important because that's how you destroy you have to, what is their mindset? You must burn down the barn to get the rats out of it, and then you got to rebuild the barn. You know, so you have to destroy the world to rebuild the world. You know, this old concept. These are all old concepts. So, but back to the rum. They're both a good value, but of course, rum Pontalba is the better value. So thanks for watching this video production, and we'll be talking again soon. And remember, the cat's out the bag, friends. It ain't going back in the bag. Try as you might. You're never going to win. All right. So thank you, folks. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, God willing, to do another taste challenge. But this time we'll be back to Canadian whiskey.